Welcome back to my Oral Health Diaries. It's a new season, yay! That's why we took the break. I welcome everyone back. My name is Dr. Kendi, for those of you who are new here. And for those of you who've been following us through our previous season, thank you so much for subscribing to my Oral Health Diaries. Let's continue to make better decisions with regards to oral health by definitely educating ourselves. So this new season is going to be thrilling. We are going to try and make it a bit different to kind of like spice it up a bit. We are going to do a bit of do we call them extracurricular or co-curricular? We'll try and have more outreaches and include more people on this platform so that we can discuss all your oral health matters. Welcome again, Dr. Kendi here. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and do all those things. But let's get straight ahead into our focus this month on my Oral Health Diaries. So a lot of you have been sending me text messages and DMs asking me about aesthetics. All of us are concerned about how we look, and it's been shown that actually like your mouth and your eyes contribute almost 90% of how you look or how people perceive you. So, you know, it's not surprising that someone would be very concerned about their teeth. So we are going to start with discoloration, tooth color. You know, it's today I'm just going to do a simple introduction, and then we are going to go deeper and discuss the small concepts about tooth color and the likes. So on today's episode, I'm just going to be focusing on a natural tooth, on what we expect and why teeth look the way they look. So in terms of natural tooth color, let me just give you like a random fact. The human eye is able to perceive over 10 million shades of color. Men are surprised, imagine. And the tooth contains about 100,000 of this. Like, your tooth is not just one color. You can't say that your tooth is just white. Okay, so your tooth has different regions, and these different regions have different colors, and even in the regions there are still different shades of that color. So let me start with, like, for baby teeth. Baby teeth will appear to be a bit whiter than the permanent teeth, probably because the permanent tooth has more dentine. Now, dentine is the inside part of the tooth. We've said the tooth has different like layers, different components. Or maybe I should have gone into that first. The tooth is not just made of enamel only. If you sliced a tooth halfway, we're going to project that. So if you slice the tooth halfway, you're going to see that the outer layer, which is the enamel, is different from the dentine, and then the pulp, and then going towards the root, you have cementum and dentine. So all these regions have different colors and they appear differently. Also, we have to consider that the tooth on its own is also being affected by whatever type of light is being shed on it. Yeah, I think people who've done photography and those things would probably understand that better. But there are different types of light, so it depends on the type of light that's falling on the tooth substance. Yeah. So let me go back now to the baby teeth. So baby teeth will appear a bit, you know, brighter or whiter, because the dentine is not as much. So the enamel, which is mostly translucent and looking white, is going to be more prominent. So baby teeth, whiter. So don't come to the clinic thinking that because you're older, you know, you need to have your teeth whitened because your child has whiter teeth. That's just the way it is. That the baby teeth or the primary teeth are a bit lighter than the permanent teeth. Another thing you'll tend to see is that as you age, your teeth may become a bit darker, which is okay, because then the enamel or the outer surface of the tooth kind of wears out, and then the dentine is showing more through the tooth. So your tooth is looking a bit more yellow. Okay, there's an acceptable standard of the yellow, and I think we will be projecting all of this so that you guys can see what we are talking about. So a person who's like 20 and a person who's 50 won't probably have the same shade, even if they're maintaining a good standard of oral hygiene. So there's the effect of age. We've talked about that. And then now another thing, different teeth in our mouths occupy different positions and they're shaped differently. So their color may not look the same. For most patients who will come and complain and say that these teeth at the corners, the canines, are looking a bit darker, but it's just because of the way they are shaped. it's something called it's called perception. The way they are shaped makes it look like like they are a bit darker than the rest of the teeth, but that's okay. It doesn't mean that they're sick. They'll just be a tad bit darker than what you have with the incisors. Also, if the tooth surface is not smooth, then the tooth will appear a bit darker because of the way light is going to be reflected and refracted from the tooth surface. So the more irregular the tooth surface, then the less it's going to shine, so it's going to look a bit dull. I know there's so many questions that are going to come about as a result of this discussion on tooth color and tooth discoloration, and I'm really looking forward to this discussion. At least today we've learned that, naturally a tooth is not just white. The whole of it is not like milky white, and that, teeth can have different shades. They can look different depending on the age, their position, if they are smooth or if they are rough, and all these things. Also remember, the cementum or the root portion of the tooth is darker than the upper portion of the tooth. So the enamel and cementum, different color. Cementum is darker, then the enamel is white. So even if you go for professional cleaning, we really can't make the cementum or the root light like the enamel. That's a thing that's just there. So you'll find that if you have gum recession or gum disease, or periodontitis as we call it, and your gum level has gone lower, you may notice that these areas are a bit darker than the rest of your tooth. So there's that. I promise today is going to be short, so that's basically it. On the next episode, we are going to start discussing about discoloration. We are going to get a bit deeper, a bit more scientific. So I really hope you're going to join us. And thank you again for always watching my Oral Health Diaries and for learning more about oral health. I'll see you on next week's episode. Bye-bye. I'm talking. Hello guys, welcome back to my Oral Health Diaries. So, I know we've been away for quite some time, but we are back. We took a social media break for cleansing, and now we are back. So, in our new season, we are going to start with a very interesting topic.
We go?
Yes. Or I just go. Should I just go? Or I